All right. Hold on, wait a second. We were supposed to interview Ahmad Ashkanani. What happened?
All right, then let's.
And what just happened?
Submitted for your approval. The history of RXMuscle and muscular development is one that comes in chapters. One chapter includes days of the past when John Romano and Dave Palumbo used to work for muscular development. That transitioned into an era called the Why Cut Back era. There have been all sorts of episodes and chapters in between, one including an ex-employee by the name of David Bay coming to RXMuscle to air out his dirty laundry. What's my place in this? I don't know. What's Johnny Styles' place in this? I have no idea. See, at least Johnny Styles lifts. There are people in the YouTube comments that say that I can't even spell the word gym. I probably can't. It's a complicated word. I'm a 185-pound brown guy who barely ever goes to the gym, and here I am talking about bodybuilding. But enough of that, and enough about me. Tonight, after the 212 Arnold Classic, won by Ahmad Ashkanani of the Camel Crew, which, oh, by the way, started on RXMuscle before anybody else wants to take credit for it. But I will give credit to Dennis James. Dennis James started that. But it was on RXMuscle. It was on Iron Debate. So, Ahmad Ashkanani wins. Camel Crew's happy. Everybody's happy. I'm happy. I'm stoked for the guy. The guy's awesome. We are set to interview Ahmad Ashkanani. And then this happens.
Sean, they actually.
He's about to get
you
thrown
actually
out of here.
did you actually take him away from my interview as I was about to interview him?
As you guys can recognize.
Well, you translate. You
as
can
you
speak.
As you can recognize,
you
we
can
got
speak Arabic.
Listen, get out of here.
That
Johnny.
must be why he went
Get
to
outta here.
because you have that
You got 10 viewers.
bilingualish.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready? Thing going on.
Take that thing
But
out of here.
then
Watch
again,
out.
where's George?
talk to you. He's not gonna talk to you.
Maybe George can
We can
translate.
start over.
He speaks Egyptian.
Yeah, at least important, not you.
I should now. Yeah, I was about to interview him 30 seconds ago, Peter. 30 seconds ago. I'm not getting thrown at him anyway. I didn't do anything wrong.
We got it on
I'm
film.
about to.
We got it on film
What
when
do
we
you-
show it
what
to
do you-
Arnold. When we show it to Arnold's people.
Show it
we
to
will.
him. I was about to interview someone and you pulled him away. Why isn't he going to talk to me? Talk to me on.
He's not talking to
He
you.
talked. What happened 3 days ago? I interview Ahmad Ashkanani, but he's not going to talk to us now. 3 days later, maybe Bleckman's giving him a one-day contract that he'll never pay, right? Or
Could
maybe
be.
Vader's paying it.
30
for him.
minutes.
Yeah.
30 minutes contract.
All right. Well, you know what? I had to confront Sean because I don't like when people do rude things to me. So I thought that was pretty rude.
What did he
I've
do?
never.
He literally physically came over.
Yeah, I was about to start the interview, and he just
Physically.
pulled him away. He
he
could have said, "Hey, Dave, you know what?"
Yeah.
He committed to doing. He could have said something to me, but and then they got all the Bleckman people over there, like Peter McGuff, who's praying that he gets paid because you know that his checks are in arrears.
Well-
and then you got Kit from MD Latino, who is only mad at us because now Bleckman has hired him because you know what happened to Bleckman's videographer?
He quit.
He collected the money that Bleckman owed him in arrears here, went to the bank, cashed it, and then after he cashed it, he told Bleckman, "See ya." Dave Palumbo here with Chris, the technician Aceto. We're here at the 2017 Arnold Classic. This is the Friday finals that just finished up. The 212, the figure, the women's physique, and the fitness championships here. Chris, a lot of controversy in the show.
And out of the show.
And out of the show, that's true. Which I just got rid of yelling at Sean Ray because he stole Ahmad Ashkanani away from me, claiming that he's not going to interview with you, even though I interviewed him 3 days ago on Skype.
Well, you got the interview. You've already done an interview with
Right.
him. You know, if a bodybuilder doesn't want to do an interview with someone, that's their decision. You know, for Sean Ray to come over here and literally ball and chain himself to Ahmad Ashkanani and drag him over there like a child.
Right.
It's an insult to the athlete. If the athlete has a contract with MD, which is virtually worth nothing now because no one gets paid at all.
No.
So it's not worth the paper it's printed on. If someone does have a contract to get paid, the professional thing is to say, hey, Dave, this kid, maybe he's excited, he just won the show.
Right.
He's exclusive to us for the next 20 minutes or the next day or whatever it may be.
The truth is, I really didn't even care about interviewing him. I wanted to do it because I knew he was excited.
Yeah, well,
Let's face it, Ahmad doesn't speak English that well, so I wasn't going to get too much out of him.
I interviewed him yesterday.
Yeah.
I interviewed him.
I know.
You can put that up. So we had a good interview.
So yesterday he was okay.
Yeah, but not today. Yeah.
Yeah, and Peter McGuff is saying it's about the athlete. I said, yes, that's why I was trying to interview him, because it's about the athlete, Peter.
Yeah, disappointed with
All right, let's talk about the show. Ahmad Ashkanani coming off the second place at the Olympia. A lot of people, myself included, thought Jose was going to come in here and decimate this lineup because of the fact that he really wasn't his best last year.
At the Olympia.
He comes in, he looks pretty close to his best at pre-judging. Ahmad, also fantastic. David Henry, fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you think won it for Ahmad Ashkanani?
I don't know what won it, but the absolute strong points on Ahmad Ashkanani is the back width, front lat spread, even with the weaker legs, it's tremendous thickness to the pecs, which of course adds to some muscle shots where he's impressive in the side chest he's got a hanging hamstring from the side.
It's weird. He has these skinny legs from the front, and then from the side and back, they're unbelievable.
Yeah, well, from the back they're thin too, as well.
I don't think so. I think he's got great glutes and hamstrings.
Maybe he had some bamboozled with how crazy the back width is from behind and the back thickness, that the legs look a little thin from behind. But from the side, he's got the best hamstring drop in the 212s. Period.
And Jose's got a good drop.
That's right. So it's really impressive. He's got density. He's coming off the Olympia. It's got to be.
Look who it is. It's Ahmad Ashkanani.
We're talking about you, Ahmed.
Even though Sean Ray said he would never interview with me, it seems like he's coming over here for the interview. I mean, this guy deserves the praise of the entire industry because he's so good. You know?
We were talking about this in regards to Ahmed. It's really the story, I feel, it's the biggest story in bodybuilding for me now that Ahmed won in a long time, because he came into the Olympia, and although he got second, there was this, but people were off. Correa was flat. Jose was off. He wasn't at his best. David was probably not at his best. So there was kind of like this idea, like
maybe he got lucky, but he didn't. Right. But he didn't get lucky because he
said he's lucky, but he was in his best condition, and here and the Olympia, it's not his problem when they came off. And here, before this show, they said that Ashkanani is not good, and they will beat Ashkanani, Jose, maybe Heidi, and the other guys, even guys Cisternino. Everybody said like this. Ashkanani wasn't in the top 3 maybe, but he proved he's the best. David was good, then he came flat by the posing, maybe from, I don't know what he do. So
Ahmad came in better tonight too.
He came better, so he deserved it. He took the show, and there is a message for Jose and the other guys. On the Oxygen Gym, they said there is nothing to do with there, and it's we can do it here. There is something. What are we doing? Because we Ahmad Ashkanani is the first now. He's the second in 212 industries. The second thing, Jose, I think you need to learn now, and if you want to learn, we can learn you.
Jose, you have an open invitation to Oxygen Gym. Let's get Ahmad over here for a second. I just want to get him to say a few words. Ahmad, come over here for a second. I want to just shake your hand first of all, because come over here. You were so good tonight. You proved to everyone that what you did at the Olympia was not a fluke. You proved that you're the real deal. I loved when you said to Arnold that you gave me the amateur title in Australia, and now you're giving me the Arnold Pro Show victory.
This best moment for me because I don't have a long time in the pro world. Now exactly I complete 1 year, and I grow very fast in in the 212 ward, and this one, okay, I'm so happy, but I should be care about the growing fast, because sometimes you will grow fast.
Too fast.
Yes, you think you are the best, but this things, I don't want to think it. I'm the best, because if I think I'm the best, maybe
You won't improve.
Yes.
Do you think that you could beat Flex Lewis at some point in the future?
For me, Flex Lewis, he is best 212. He's the king of 212. All of us want to beat him. And, you know, if I beat him, it's like a dream for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, you have a dream come true here today.
Yeah.
Now, this show, Ashkanani proved this show he's the best 212, second 212, and he guaranteed it 100%. Nobody's in front of him, only Flex Lewis.
Yeah.
The others, they must train harder and harder and harder. They will not beat him until Ashkanani retire.
Okay, that's a very bold statement. Is this your dad? Yeah. Come over here. Come over here. Did you know your son was that good of a bodybuilder 2 years ago?
Yes.
You did know.
Not 100%.
Did you ever bodybuild yourself?
Me?
Yes.
No, I just am playing football.
Okay, well maybe you should start lifting. You might have. He's got your genetics, bro.
What?
He's got your genes. Are you proud of your son?
What?
Are you proud of your son?
No. Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm
That's a little English translation. Yeah.
Little.
Mix up.
Yes.
Congratulations to both of you guys. Enjoy the victory. We're very proud of you. So that was Ahmad Ashkanani, who Sean Ray said that wouldn't interview with us no matter what. He guaranteed it, a matter of fact. So did Peter McGuff.
Yeah, well, it's about the athlete. It's about the athlete.
It's about the athletes. But
You included you made it a family affair with Ahmed's.
now let's talk about second place in this show, David Henry, who had to be the most improved guy from last year to this year. I mean, this guy made some major improvements. Legs are still a little on the smaller side, but the upper body was tremendous.
Legs appealed.
He was
His
the
legs,
best.
his legs are very peeled from the front.
And he was in great shape too.
Yeah, he's I think he won. He pushed Ahmed. I think Ahmed had a few things that were freakier that would make him, make a judge say, you know what, these guys are close. They're both, a little light in the legs. But I think Ahmed has more, freak factor in like the pecs and the back width. But David Henry is, and all 212 competitors, Hyde, Jose, Correa, they'll all tell you this. They all are afraid of him at some point. They know when David Henry comes in at his best.
Alone, he's the winner on stage. No one beats him alone when he's standing
He's not
alone.
a big guy. He's not wide. He's not big, but he packs a lot of muscle in that tiny frame. He still has a small waist. He's got dense, mature, nice, clean lines. He, running into this show, he's always in the back of my mind as like someone. Well, if David Henry shows up at his best. And he does, he shows up every other year like this, where he's just stupendous.
Well, David Henry showed up here tonight and really pushed Ahmad Ashkanani. You know what? I actually thought, I'd like to see the scorecards. I thought David Henry's routine was unbelievable, and I thought Ahmad's routine was so-so. I thought maybe David Henry might push past Ahmad just on the routine round, because that's 30% of the score. So I'd like to see how that was scored, because I believe David had one of the best routines up there tonight.
Yeah, well, he's a great poser. He's been doing this for like a lot of these mature 212 guys a long time. So, he knows how to display his physique, and he's been in the Arnold multiple times in the Olympia. So, he knows how to put together a routine that's going to woo the crowd and the judges. So
let's talk about Jose Raymond, because this was a disappointment for Jose. I'm sure he's very upset with this. At prejudging, I could have made an argument for him winning. I did, as a matter of fact, in the play-by-play. I said I thought Jose Raymond was going to squeak by this. But you know what? It seemed like that last call-out was confusing, because it was just David Henry and Ahmad Ashkanani first and second. Jose never got another look with these guys, and I didn't really understand the logic in that.
Well, the interesting thing in prejudging is that Jose only had one call-out in the entire prejudging.
That's what I mean.
He came to an Arnold Classic and got one call-out. Everyone else, including the guys who are like 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, they were mixed up and got more than one call-out. So if you weren't here to see it, the interesting thing is they put Ashkanani, David Henry, and Jose back after the first call out, like, okay, you guys are solid top three. And generally, from the last few years of this show, they've mix it up. Then they ended with the eventual top two, Ashkanani and David Henry, and left Jose standing. And that was telling. It was confusing for a lot of people, but it is what it is. And apparently, they had him in a dead solid third because they never compared him to anyone else.
I had I liked Jose Raymond's muscle density. I liked his conditioning. I liked his fullness. I felt maybe he was a little too full. He almost had a little bit Charles Dixon in him. You know how alone he's the champion, and then when you put him in the lineup, there's something just maybe not aesthetic about that waistline tonight. I don't know what it was. If he was a little too full. Did you notice any of that? I know you're so immersed in helping him that I don't know if you were able to take that look from the outside line. So
it's hard to be, especially when you're dealing, with three people in that class.
Yeah.
It's hard to be aware of like every crazy little detail. If that is the breaking point for him to land in third, it's a tough breaking point to land on. But
it was that difficult, I think, to show. I think that's what cost him. I think any other year he probably would have won.
True. Or any year that Ashkanani was not there, then it would come down to him and David in a battle. Yeah, and then you got the contrasts again.
I think the most heroic performance of the evening had to be Guy Cisternino in fourth place, who's standing right there. Maybe I can get him to come over here for a second just to say hello.
Well, here comes Sean to drag him off.
Yeah, maybe Sean could guarantee
it's about the athletes.
You kept the beard. You kept true to yourself. A lot of people were counting you out of this lineup. No one was really predicting you. I knew you were going to be in there. I didn't know how close you'd be in there.
Fifth. You said fifth.
Yeah, you really fought pretty hard, and you beat a lot of guys that probably people thought were going to beat you. Was this one of the hardest Arnolds you've ever competed in?
It was one of the hardest shows. In the fact that 2 weeks out, I had 2 ear infections, sinus infection, bronchitis, and
drama.
Yeah.
And an upper respiratory infection. So, and then I stopped taking the medication on Wednesday when the Levaquin stopped, and then I went to go put on tan Wednesday night. Woke up at 3:30 in the morning covered in welts from the tan.
Oh, no way.
And I've used Protan for 13 years, but it must have been something with the medication that messed with my system. And then
I called Dave.
Yeah, he texted you.
Oh, that was him? He never told me who it was.
Yeah, so I ended up...
I said Benadryl. Yeah.
Well, I took Benadryl, and then I got Allegra, and then my doctor ended up calling me in prednisone, which I didn't want to use, but the welts and the itching weren't going away.
You did use it?
So I think that's why I was sweating more than usual on stage, because...
It's still pretty dry considering you were on prednisone.
Well, I looked at Chris, and Chris, every time I started taking the prednisone Thursday night, and Chris kept saying, you're fucking peeled. I'm like, all right, then if I'm getting peeled off prednisone, I got to be pretty fucking dry.
The great thing about prednisone, your joints feel really good on it,
Oh, yeah, that's why my posing routine was on, I think, because I wasn't all stiff and all dried up. But
congratulations on that fourth place. That was a seriously, I think you really outperformed yourself today.
Thank you. I mean, I tried, dude. I love competing, and it's not always about the trophy in front of you. Everybody thinks, winning a show defines you, but like I said in an interview with you, I love to train, and that's why I bodybuild. I don't bodybuild because... I don't train because I love to bodybuild. I bodybuild because I love fucking training.
I love that statement. That's a great statement. Chris, let me talk to you about another one of your clients, Zane Watson. 5th place here today. That's a tremendous accolade for this guy. He brought in 50 people from Canada in a bus.
52 in a pre-vote bus. Yes.
And I don't think this guy was on anyone's radar. We interviewed him on the road to the Arnold a couple days ago, and he seemed like he was ready. And you sent me some pictures. He looked really good. I think he performed tremendously on the stage. The fact that Guy beat him is just a testament to how good Guy is.
Yeah, and he got by Dixon and Hyde. And, I told Zane coming into the show, I said, Zane, you are absolutely going to be a dark horse in the show, which means you're going to look great. People are going to think that you look tremendous. Everyone's going to say you look fabulous, but you probably won't place high. Just because it's the Arnold, they're looking for veterans. You got, as a judge and as a fan, you're already looking for the Ashkananis, the Jose's, Guy, the guys who are top 5 anyway. So I said you probably get overlooked, so don't get discouraged. So he's on like cloud million with the idea
this was a win for him at 5th place.
Yeah, he's
beating Hide Yamagishi, who last year won the show. has to settle for 6th tonight. And that's a win.
Charles, who regularly wins shows,
Right.
you know.
Well, I'm saying, but Hide was last year's champion here. Let's speak about Hide. I just saw him on the way out. He was walking out with Iris Kyle. And, I said to him, you were really flat this morning. Nothing was popping on your back. You were better tonight, but still not good enough.
Could be crazy tomorrow.
I told him the same thing. I said, you have a cheeseburger and fries tonight, you're going to be amazing tomorrow. And Iris agreed with us, and I think that she kind of hinted that maybe he was doing something that was a little too much of depletion. You can't deplete before you deplete,
Well, it's one of these things that, I understand it. Hide won this show last year. He had the disappointing Olympia because I interviewed him, and Sean didn't tear. I interviewed him and Ashkanani.
He tried to stop you.
And it was about the athletes, Peter, at the time. I interviewed them both. And, Hide's a great guy, and Hide said that he was ready for the show, and he's put so much into it, and put so much, and put so much.
Put too much into it.
And I was wondering, I wonder if he put too much.
Probably was ready 4 weeks ago.
Well, you know what? I'll go back to this. The Olympia was a huge disappointing show for him. He came off this win last year, and running into the Olympia, everyone expected him to be right there, and he wasn't. So you go back to the drawing board, and in bodybuilding, you come back and you say this: I'm going to come in peeled out of my mind, and a lot of times that can backfire on some physiques.
He said he had no problem making weight, which is a problem. Because he should have a lot of problems making weight because he's really a 220-pound guy.
Yeah, but, I thought in prejudging, I couldn't figure out in prejudging if he was, not in shape or if he was holding water or if he was flat. So 3 different things.
I think it was very flat. But you know what? I'm sure Hide will come back. Hopefully, maybe he'll go New York Pro because I think that he really needs to redeem himself after this year. Because it's got to leave a sour taste in his mouth, especially after coming off last year's championship. Let's talk about Oksana Grishina, her last performance here on the Arnold Classic stage. She wins it in spectacular fashion, doing that amazing ring routine. She emotes so much emotion on stage. It's breathtaking.
Well, not only does she have the routine, but her physique is slam dunk for me.
She won the physique round.
Slam dunk. There's people who are at 212 bodybuilders, open bodybuilders. You work for years to improve your physique, and you do. This is someone whose routines is her forte, but she's developed her body to the point where when she comes out, to me, it's just
she wins both rounds. Yeah.
She wins both rounds. She's so dominant in this. It's mind-boggling how long she could go for if she wanted to.
I know. And in women's physique, we had a huge upset. Daniele Castillo from Brazil. I think this was her second show.
Crazy.
Beats Sharonica Henton. She knocks out Autumn Swanson, who was last year's champion. Heather Grace in third place. And, this was a tremendous win for her. When I saw her prejudging, if you read my play-by-play, I said, I don't think they're going to let her win, but I think this girl deserves to win. She had a lot of gifts she brought to the stage. What did you like about her physique?
The completeness of it. And cap delts, great conditioning, nothing that, where you say, oh, you got to be better here. So your eye, because when you have a physique where you can't pick things apart, your eye automatically goes back to it. And I think that was why, she won. But I feel the same way as you. I didn't think, you hate to say it, but, well, she's from Brazil. She's not well known. Are they really going to put her in first place? And they did.
And Arnold even asked her, will you be at the Arnold Brazil? And she's like, I certainly will. It's my home backyard. Yeah. In the figure division, we had a huge upset. I don't think I agreed with it, but Latoya Watts has to settle for third place here with Sydney Gillen second, Candace Lewis-Carter winning the show. You and I always
say
three freaks.
Three of the best physiques, 3 of the best bodies, including 212. Just flow, cap delts.
Tiny waist.
Insanely. It's like Flex Wheeler.
It's like the 90s bodybuilding, Flex versus Ronnie Coleman.
Look at. It's so much to look at. What's the girl's name I got second? I lost my train.
Sydney Gillen.
Unbelievable. Traditional V.
I thought if anyone was going to win, it was going to be her, to be honest with you.
When she stands in the lineup, she doesn't have the cap delts of the other two, but she has just a natural, unbelievable V. Looks like the letter V. And she's got a natural, very, very natural, I was born this way look to it, where the other girls obviously have a great flow too, but it looks like they've trained hard to bring up the delts and the lats. Hers is just God-given. They're all unbelievable. And I thought, personally, this is, one of the shows where I couldn't make up my mind, and if any of them won, I would say, okay, I can live with that. Sure. It was that close.
I thought that LaToya Watts did enough to win here. She was the reigning champion here and the reigning Olympia champ. They usually give them the nod at this point. I was surprised they took this title away from her, but you know what? It's just going to set up a great rematch at the Olympia where she's going to have to work that much harder because she knows these girls are just that close to her.
Yeah, I mean, it's the level of competition in this division is unreal because people who could win it handily 3 years ago, no offense to them, but to me, it's impossible for any of them to crack the top three and who are here today. That's a testament to not only the level of competition, but how strong first, second, and third are.
Figure has not gotten out of control in terms of the physiques. It's just the genetic talent there.
It's insane.
The talent pool is
Where are they
crazy.
coming from? That's what the first
most exciting division of the evening for certain. Chris, it was a great night tonight. Obviously, tomorrow night's the Open Men with the men's physique and the bikini. That's going to be super exciting as well. So, guys, we have a lot more to bring to you. I'm Dave Palumbo with Chris, the technician Aceto. I want to thank Sid Faruqi and Johnny Styles behind the camera for a great job today. We'll see you tomorrow. Woo!